It is a Sunday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. Now, power creep exists in every live service game, every mobile game, etc. to get you to spend money on the brand new strongest thing before the next thing comes along after that to make the previous one obsolete. That's how it is, and it's no exception to this game. So today we're going to go through some champions who were good, still aren't bad, but have seen better days. And beginning with that is going to be one of the very old favourites, which was Altan. Now, Altan was considered overpowered back in the day, when really all he did was just be a defense champion that also hit pretty hard and was really good for clan boss because of this A1. Nowadays, he's kind of lacking. With a single target, he's not good in the arena nowadays. We have champions who do all these jobs much better, and yeah, I'd say as either add him something that's going to make him good in the arena, so like this ignores defense, or actually, what do you even do with this guy? 100% chance, I'd say. Make it so he always revives an ally at the end of his turn, and he revives another each time he kills someone, and give him a bit more stats to work with as well, because these numbers aren't too great nowadays. Okay, next one is going to be... is he here? Yep. Septimus. You know this as well as I do, but people would open shards of someone else and go, Septimus! Like it was the greatest thing in their lives, and nowadays it's, oh, Septimus. Because ever since they made it so that bosses can't take more than 10% of their max HP in a single hit, they pretty much deleted this guy from the game, and nowadays he just exists as good if you don't have Newt or any of the other max HP damage dealers, especially a single target, because this hits 3 times, Septimus hits once, but I suppose Curse City or something else where you can't use Newt or don't have him, but that's not really the best place for him to exist. This doesn't hit particularly hard. This is fine, but checks accuracy, so he needs accuracy for some reason, and I would say make this hit twice, so he's at least doing 20%. Increase the damage on this. Just decrease the cooldown of Holy Soul by 1 turn if he doesn't kill them. And this shouldn't check accuracy. And he'd be alright. And perhaps bump up Bleeds a bit as well, because he's not building his attack stats anyway for the most part, so a bit more defense would be nice. Next is going to be Ignatius. Now, Ignatius is, okay, again, to reiterate, he's not a terrible champion, but he's seen much, much better days. The main shtick he had back then was that HP burn on everyone doesn't check accuracy, except problem is, it's a 6-turn cooldown, well, 5-turn cooldown even. Fast forward a bit, and this guy came along, who does the same thing on a 3-turn cooldown, while also having a way to heal your team, detonate HP burns himself, and honestly, if you just wanted a blue affinity AoE HP burn and 100% chance, try Akotha Seared. Because if there's 4 enemies alive, this goes up to 100%, and it doesn't even need bucks. It only bucks of damage, which you don't really care about, unless you just want the shield from this for whatever reason. Akotha was made back when Doom Tower epics were actually allowed to contribute to someone's account, as opposed to champions like whatever this is supposed to be. Yeah, I've been playing for 3 years. I really need a single target attacker. Thanks. So moving back to Ignatius, he's in pretty dire need of a buff. This should go down to a 3 or a 4-turn cooldown, preferably 3-turn. This is a 4-turn cooldown, and this isn't even a 100% chance of provoke, we have a 100% chance of stun on a 3-turn cooldown. So that just goes to show. And speaking of stun, yeah, 25%. We have epics who have a 80% chance of stun on their A1. And people do say that he's got a pretty high multiplier on this, and he does, but it doesn't ignore any sort of mitigation, and these are pretty low offensive stats, so he's often going to miss a bunch of it. So put this down to a 3 or 4 turn, put this down to a 3 turn, 100% chance of revoke, increase the chance of stun here, give him a bit more speed, and he'll be a bit happier, because right now he's, yeah. Okay. So next is going to be Foley. Now, this is going to be a bit of a weird choice to a few people, because you may still see this guy in Arena, Live Arena, etc. Because how can a AoE permadeath skill be bad? Well, the answer is, it isn't bad. The issue is, the rest of him is kind of so-so. This is a really weak skill. It's 4 times at random. It balances the damage multiplier out at hitting all alpha hits at once, but if it doesn't, then it just does nothing. And this is okay, it's fine, and same with this, but the issue with Foley is just, this has no damage mitigation shred whatsoever. He has no true self-defense. Like, sure, he can cleanse some CCs, he can't cleanse fears for some reason, or petrification, polymorph, etc. And then, yeah. So his primary role is just to prey on Sun Wukong or any other teams that don't have much in the way of defense. I would say make this an AoE instead of 4 times at random, or give it some ignore defense if it's going to remain like this. This is fine, but make it so this doesn't check accuracy, this doesn't check accuracy, this turn meter reduction doesn't, because after all, we have Georgie the Breaker who cuts all the turn meters by twice as much, but doesn't check accuracy. I know, sure, Foley's not a Void Legendary, Georgie it is, there's a difference there, but still. And apart from that, then he should be decent enough as a counter pick. He's never going to be a main carry in Live Arena because he hasn't got any real self-defense, but he'd be a bit better. So keeping on Dark Elves, we're going to go to, where is she? Madame Serris. Now you're probably thinking, hang on, Madame Serris isn't a legendary, what are you doing? And back in the day, she was basically a Void Legendary, let's be honest with ourselves, because she would take all your buffs off you, she'd put these on, and your entire team would get wiped. But nowadays, there is Stone Skin that she can't move half the time, there is Polymorph, which will stop her dead in her tracks, and they did nerf it down to a 4-turn cooldown, which was the wrong thing to do, because all it did was make her worse for PV progression areas, as using these for debuffs. And apart from that, she doesn't really contribute too much to the team. And we have legendaries, mythicals, who have higher stat product in terms of speed accuracy. They can ignore resistance and do other things in addition to removing buffs and also weakening. So, yeah. Obviously, for an epic, she's fine. Well, more than fine, I'd say. She's still good, but not quite as good as she used to be. So looking down the track of Void Legendaries, there's going to be Eforce. Eforce was the guy where if he wanted to clear out waves really quickly, he would do it really quickly. He did what was said on the tin. 2 AoEs, both of them hit hard. Has lists to get his cooldowns back. Like, sure, he has a defense stat lower than commons, but it doesn't matter too much. The issue is now we have waves that are strong enough that he can't one-shot them anymore in terms of hard mode dungeons. You want someone like Seer for that, or if you spend lots of money, Siegfried of the Nephilim. And he doesn't have any mitigation shreds, so he's not great for Arena, no self-defense, and he's just seen better days. Give this some ignore defense, cut it down to a 3-turn cooldown, give this some ignore defense, maybe give him some turn meter or something, and have this destroy some more max HP, give him a shield, so he might be a useful Scarab. Yeah, okay. So, next we're going to go over to Dracomorph. Now, Dracomorph, again, not a bad champion. I still use him for my clan boss team. I'll prove it, so I'm not just talking out of my backside for amusement. Oh, I haven't claimed this yet. Don't care. Because in a way, having a champion, well, legendary that solely for clan boss is fine, because I don't need him to be at a certain speed, accuracy stacks, etc., anything else. But by the time you get Lydia the Death Siren, this skill just stops being that useful. This is fine, but again, if it's not just a single target, these poisons aren't going to do more than any other poisoner in the game, and this, no complaints here. I'd say bump this up to 4 turns of poisons, give this some ignore defense, and I think it should be fine. Perhaps give this increased attack as well. I wouldn't say give him turn meter, increase speed, anything at all, because that's going to mess with lots of people's clan boss speed tunes, including mine, and it makes things worse and not better. But anyway, we do use Dracomorph for clan boss. He's decent enough for his role. We go, the whole score, and there's that. And the last one I wanted to mention is going to be another Void Legendary. You probably won't be surprised, but it's Hegemon. Hegemon, how you want to pronounce it. Oh, back in the day, he was the anti-speed team. Didn't matter how fast you were, how many dragon speed sets you farmed. He goes first. He attacks everything. He either kills it all because he's built full damage with no speeds, or he CCs you with block active skills, possibly stun set, day set, etc. But nowadays, that's not quite as important. People have their carries in Stone Skin, there's Polymorph, Reaction, anything else of the sort. He just doesn't contribute as much. It doesn't help that this is kind of a nothing A1. Sure, people use it with the Eveline Mastery just to cut turn meter instead of risking Polymorph, or they don't feel lucky regarding the only 50% chance of block active skills. It's not 100, and it doesn't look up any further. I would say make this a bit stronger, increase the chance of this placing decreased speed up to 100%, maybe 3 times attack at random just to have a bit more use if you put him in stun set, or bump up his damage a bit more. You can't really do a whole lot about him hitting into Stone Skin, getting a polymorphed, and anything so. He's a counter pick, he's not terrible, but as I've said before, he's seen better days. So yeah, none of these champions are bad. Some of them I would book if you get them early mid game, a couple of them I probably wouldn't. Like Septimus, I wouldn't say needs it. The others, you'll find enough mileage, but yeah. I mean, they might buff for one day, but given how we're averaging 2 legendary buffs every month, which is a snail's pace for one reason or another, it's going to take some time. So, yeah. Right. See ya.